Hey guys, Huz here, bringing you a new commentary, this time Lee Sin Jungle on the pre-season patch 3.14. It's my first commentary in the Season 4 patch, simply because I've been ill, and hopefully I'll be able to do like a half an hour all talking without much interruption. I may have to take a drink every now and then, but other than that, it should be fine. So Lee Sin, I love Lee Sin, many people know I love Lee Sin. I'm currently in the process of absolutely mastering his runes and masteries. I'm still not happy with my early game clear on him, and it's getting the balance between lifesteal and AD and all that type of thing, and I'm getting there. But this video, or this game, was a couple of days ago, and it goes fairly well, needless to say. Now, there will be more commentaries coming soon on the channel, and there'll be different roles, etc., but obviously jungle probably being the main one. Anyway, Fight is in this tri-bush and then notices the enemy in the area, and I think he takes E first on Lucian, so he will have a little less pressure when he's in lane, but he does manage to survive, which is good. Me and my support Clarity do position ourselves over here. I just give the Elise a love tap just to let her know I am there, get out of my jungle. And that kind of does force them to go away. They were looking for first blood somewhere in the vicinity of the game, or of our jungle, and they don't manage to get it. So I do put my trinket ward down. They're not there anymore, so I'm probably just going to do my red buff again, or just do it first. And they do decide just to back off to their blue, which is good for us. So Lee Sin jungle, how is it to be played? Now, he actually has been, I'd say, hurt a little bit, because jungling nowadays is a lot of the emphasis is on late game, not early game. You know, it's quite hard to gank in the early game nowadays. Everybody's got a ward, or the jungle creeps hit a little bit harder, so your health goes down, especially if you're running 21 offense. Now, junglers who run 21 defense, you haven't really been harmed that much. It's actually quite good that you can just stay in the jungle forever. But what tends to happen with me, because I smite the red, is I have to do one camp, because then I'd be too early for blue. So I do red. Say if I'm on this side, I do red, race, then go to blue buff, then I actually have to base, then I get boots and some health potions, and then I'm set for the rest of the game. I don't have to base due to low health. It's a bit annoying, and that is kind of the thing I'm trying to fix with runes and masteries. I'm kind of testing things here and there, but I'll get there eventually. Now, you can see the Elise, because she would have had to base the exact same way I would have. She's actually skipped doing a camp. She's gone straight from blue to red, which is not really heard of, and then she's going on to raise. So it can work. It may be actually something I should try out on Lee Sin. Now you can see I'm relatively low, so I think any second, yep, I decide to base, which does give the enemy jungler a little bit more presence in the early game, like right now. But if they don't get a gank off, then I'm actually in a better position, because I'll have boots and I'll have some health potions with that Doran's Blade. But going from buff to a camp, like the old days, that might actually work for Lee Sin jungle, potentially anyway. And now obviously I have lined up everybody in the way that you can like just see, and you can see right now the Rumble is absolutely zoning on Nasus really hard, and that is a Rumble for you. He is a very good early game beast, especially against a Nasus that can't really do much early game. But you'll see in this game how I kind of get the Nasus back into it, as it does happen, and it's basically, I'll quote Dyrus. Obviously, Dyrus is known from playing Rumble in solo queue and competitive play. If there's a Rumble in top lane, camp the living hell out of him, because he's got no escape. So here we go, we're going to go in for the gank. And hello Rumble, nice to meet you. He does a really early flash. I managed to hit my Q anyway. Then get the E slow in, and we're going to try and pick up the first blood any second. There we go, and Nasus gets it. So he's nearly even on CS now, and now he is got a kill up. And I've got myself an assist, so that is a relatively successful gank. Now again, you'll see an increasing pattern of, if it's a Rumble, camp him. It's very easy to gank a Rumble. He's got no escape. Now that Rumble doesn't have flash, he has literally zero escape. The only way a Rumble can really escape very well, if he's relatively strong, he can put his ultimate down to totally deter someone from going in that direction, like on top of his face, for instance. But because he's not 6 yet, he won't have that, and he probably won't be that strong, seeing that we're going to try and kill him multiple times over and over again. Now my team comp we've kind of gone for this game, I think this was just kind of a mixture of an early pressure jungler with a very beast top laner. And we tend to do these quite often, in that either I go a farm jungler and then we go aggressive lanes, or lanes that would generally try and win by themselves, and then the opposite, if I go a gank jungler, then they can go farming lanes, and then hopefully I'll be able to carry them through. So anyway, I'm coming down the bot lane. Taric is gank it or tower diving. I'm moving in for Twitch, seeing if I can pick him up. Now, I don't like a lot of tower dives have increasingly happened. I'm flash E, and then moving in for the kill. Fi actually, I think, yeah, Fi gets that kill, so that's actually relatively good. And then Gragas tries to come in for the area. Taric flashes over the wall to stop me getting the kill, but gives it to Fi. I'd call that a bad play by Taric, and what I must add is I believe most of the enemy is also Diamond 1. On our team right now, I'm Diamond 1, the mid lane is Diamond 1, and the top lane is Diamond 1, with Fi being Diamond 3, and Clarity, our support, being Diamond 4. But we're keeping up with all like full Diamond 1 teams. It's not much of a problem, and we're actually doing Go For LOL later today, where we may meet like pretty good teams, but in Go For LOL you also meet quite bad teams. So we kind of have to see how that goes. We haven't been doing amazing lately. We kind of need to get back into the swing of things, maybe confidence, or people are just generally playing bad. But I think we'll get back into it, no worries. So what am I going to try and do now? Now I'm even on farm with Elise, but I've got 2 assists above her, none, and we're even CS, so that tells that I'm doing quite well and she's not, because if you are a jungler and you're getting out farmed or even farmed and you have less kills or less assists than the enemy jungler, then there's something wrong. Now I'm going to return to top lane, as again, the one thing I have to say is broken for junglers in this patch. Obviously a lot of things have gone downhill for junglers, but one thing that is good for junglers is that you can look you just hover over the enemy's trinket and bam, 0 out of 3 wards placed. He doesn't have flash. I know he hasn't warded, and then we're just going to get a nice free easy kill. So I actually picked that one up for myself. Quite nice that I actually get a kill, to be honest. Now Lee Sin is one of them junglers for me that as long as it's not 100% that say my AD carry will get it, I will take it. Pretty much every time. I'm quite greedy in that sense because I want to have a good early game. I want to kill stuff over and over and over again, and if I can get kills, that means I can build damage instead of going tanky early. What you find as a Lee Sin, if you don't get fed really early, then you'll go just straight into tanky stats. But if you get fed early, then you can get your Brutalizer, then you can get your Ravenous Hydra, and then, because you've got enough gold, then you can move in for the tanky stats. So I'm just going to go to mid lane, just cover it, I don't know, just 1 Q into a minion. That actually dings me 6, and now I'm moving over to my red buff. So Lise, I don't know if she didn't time her buffs or something, but she's doing her red before her blue, where generally Ziggs may want the blue early as possible. The bot lane, or my bot lane, is actually pushing the enemy, which is quite nice. The Lucian Lulu lane is apparently one of the most annoying lanes in the game right now. Very strong. Seeing that Lucian is very good at early game pressure, is good poke with his Q, and the same with Lulu. Lulu is an absolute beast with auto attacking, etc. Now I don't know what runes Clarity took, but personally when I play Lulu, I take some AD reds and combined it with a bit of AP as well, and she's just a nightmare to deal with. It's insanely good. Now, what runeset and masteries do I take on Lee Sin, you may ask? Simply put, I take 4% lifesteal, rest AD reds, and 1 quint, armor yellows, and MR blues. That's pretty much what I take. Now, I've been notified that there is a ward in this bush, and correctly so there is, and now I'm going to move in over for the gank. And hi Rumble, yeah, you've got no escape yet again. You may have flash, but you've decided to try and go for the kill, and kablooey, goodbye. So there's another successful kill on Rumble, and you can tell that there's the pattern. Good communication by Ramil, the top laner we're using right now. He notified me there's a ward there, so I just jump over here, and very easy gank, very well executed by both of us. So basing, I have actually now picked up my Brutalizer, which at 9 minutes for a jungler, I have a lot of damage. a lot of damage. And this is what I mean. If you get fed as a Lee Sin early on, you can risk doing this because you'll do so much damage compared to other people in the game that they won't be able to touch you. And that's the whole point of it. Now, a couple things I have to mention in this game is, although now I've got my Nasus far ahead, the other lanes, or the mid lane especially, has suffered a bit. I think Elise has been there a few times, and that has led to Ziggs being ahead. Although Ziggs is actually very good against melee champions like Gragas, because his poke with his auto attacks is just amazing. So anyway, I'm just going to jump over the wall, do the double golems, and then I would say I'm going to go bot lane. Now, another thing I want to get into is warding on Lee Sin. You know, before you got Sightstone, is it still good? Is it still viable? People have asked me this when I was streaming. It is still viable, but it's not the most cost effective anymore because it gives you 3 wards and you want to use some for kicking, and I don't know, it doesn't seem that viable to me. Anyway, going in for the kill, and I'm just absolutely just demolished the Taric. I get the execute onto Taric just because, you know, I was actually taking quite a lot of damage. Twitch actually flashes to try and get me with his expunge, but I survive quite nicely, and I think he may actually nearly go down. He does use barriers. I had good pressure when he came in. So yeah, and both summoners still on Fi, and both summoners still on Lulu, so they are a very good stage right now in bot lane. Well played to them, and it was another good gank. Now unfortunately Nasus does go down to an Elise gank, which is a bit surprising, seeing that he may be an under tower with ultimate, but you know, it happens. Actually he didn't have ultimate, he still has it up. So anyway, I'm going to move in and see if I can get a kill here. Goodbye Rumble. I actually get that, and then bam, get a kill. Nice easy free kill. Very big mistake by that Rumble being that position. And then I realise, oh wait, I have a lot of damage. I'll kill the Elise. So she also does quite a fair amount of damage. Now I have to say I have not played Elise in recent patch, and unfortunately that didn't hit. If that hit, I may have gone for the kill. But yeah, as you can tell, I do take a lot of damage, but I just deal a lot of damage too. But I have not played Elise in current patch. And Elise used to be one of my favourite junglers to play, and I don't know, I haven't. I've heard that she's quite weak, although I've seen many Elises and they're strong, so I'm getting mixed messages there, but I'm actually going to play her probably later today. I doubt, maybe in Go for LOL, like I know how to play the champion, just not in the new patch, but we'll have to see. Like, I'm going to play it in solo queue. But anyway, Taric has found himself trapped completely. I don't really know why he's there, to be honest. I miss my Q, which is a bit meh, but we're going to move in, seeing if we can just get the execute, and Ziggs turns up to basically just block. I think, yeah, my Q actually did hit their max range, and I think this would actually give us opportunity to get the dragon. Now, one thing I have to say about my team, we've actually improved in dragon control. There are times that we could do it earlier, but we are doing it more often than not now, which is good. Now, obviously, Lee Sin being a very good executor of any buff type deal with his Q, and I actually hit Twitch there, and I was very tempted to go for the kill, and I do go for the kill, but unfortunately I don't have any energy to execute or anything like that. I don't have a pink ward to kind of see where he is, and then Elise finds herself in an awful position. She flashes away. Unfortunately, Clarity did go for the smart thing of that flash ulti to knock her up, but I don't think, well, it didn't hit. It wasn't close enough. Unfortunately, it does happen, you know, every now and then. And I think Elise will get away. Now, I am also coming in from the side, seeing if I can do anything with Ziggs. Unfortunately, missed my Q, because I could have probably put a nice bit of damage onto him if that actually hit. Now, this gives us opportunity as well to pressure the mid lane, but in the end of the day, it's a Ziggs. Ziggs is much like an Anivia in that you have a wave. No, you don't. It's all dead. Now, you can see Elise is actually basing all the way here. She ran all this way just to be on the safe side. So I'm going to take red buff, and then I think now I start building my tanky items, which will be the Aegis into the Locket. Very good item, especially for Lee Sin, because you find yourself being in the middle of a team fight very often. So yeah, always a good item to pick up. Anyway, we're going to go in for some kills. Unfortunately, Twitch kind of gets knocked over to the side. I don't even think they're going to get this turret, which is good. They're going to have that kill, so I'm quite confident in that. And then I was looking over for Twitch, if possible. Now, I was also then, you know, it took them longer than I thought it would to kill Taric, so I was coming over from the blue buff to see if I could just help that kill be secured. And then we're going to see if we can pick up the Rumble, potentially. I've got my mobility boots, so we're going to have to see if I land Q or anything. And I just use my W, and then bam. I just use my ultimate and then use my Q to get out of his ultimate. So it was a relatively good play, and I also get the kill on that. So some of these kills that I'm getting are intentional, and some of them I just get because I don't want to die. And that's happened twice. So out of my 5 kills, 2 of them I've just got with like executes or stuff, simply because I don't want to die. That was that one there, that I used my ultimate to kick him away from his ultimate, and then Q to get myself out of there. And then the bot lane, I used my ultimate to just kill Taric as quick as possible, so I could escape without dying. And that's pretty much how I play Lee Sin. It's either get the kills, help get the kills, but make sure you survive. And that is the big key to Lee Sin. Just make sure you survive the early game with being strong. And it's a relatively basic thing to say because that is pretty much the aim of any role in the game. But yeah, that's what I tend to do on Lee Sin. Now, Elise is camping this bush quite a lot. She's been here for about 30 seconds now, which honestly is quite a lot of time to invest in a gank. If they get the kill, then great, but it is a Nasus in the end of the day, so we're going to see what happens. We're going to see how much damage he does at this point in the game. How many stacks has he got? He's got... I can't actually see right now, so we'll actually have to look after the fight. Now, yeah, he's just 1v2ing them. Nasus is dumb. And then I come in from the side. Now, I actually flash and then just try to kick him over to the side, which is... It was a good idea, but then Gragas does pick up the kill. It was a good idea that I wanted to kick him, and unfortunately, I thought Elise would be here, and if it got Rumble onto the Elise, then I would have got a really fancy double kill. But it didn't happen. But anyway, that also gives us pressure to get the top tower, and well played to Gragas. Very good roam there. At that right time, picks himself up a nice kill. That's actually first kill of the game, but that leads myself being 604. So this game being 11-2 right now with us 5,000 gold, or about 4,000 gold in the lead, or so. So this game is going fairly well. So I will say a lot of people do like these stomp games, and some people don't. What I just want to make you realise and learn from this game is how you snowball. Realise what lanes you can kill. Like, that Rumble made me strong. I got a Nasus strong from that, and I got myself strong from that. And that's the whole point. Make sure you go to the right lanes. Make sure you realise, hey, a Rumble doesn't have much escape. Oh, I've already burnt his flash, and we got first blood. Oh, I can come back and kill him again. That's the type of thing as a jungler you really need to think about and decide, because jungling is decision making. It's mechanics and decision making, and that's it. Now, unfortunately, I think Nasus did stay around a bit too long, and he is actually looking for the kill. At this point, he should run away, because they are two. They will still do quite a lot of damage to him. Look, he does a lot of damage to them, but I think they just pile on him and try to get a kill. So I think he does go down, although he does do a lot of damage right now. Now I have based, I picked up myself the locket. If we actually look how many stacks Nasus has, if I can remember how to do it. Well, we can see the bonus damage. He's got bonus 113 from AD and bonus 243 from stacks. I think that's the way around it is, which isn't bad at this type of the game. It could be better, but it's still pretty good. One thing I have to give our Nasus is he's very good at Q farming. Several games he has got 900 Q farm. Now Taric has found himself in the area, which is a bit odd. I W onto Gragas and then move onto the Ziggs, seeing if I can get anything. Now, unfortunately, he flashes my W because I was going to kick him back into. Now, I was also going to go for that Taric, but then no energy. So it's a bit annoying, but what can you do without any energy? Now, if I was really clever, I could have just autoed a 1 minion with my passive, and that would have given me enough. Now, this Twitch again, I don't know, he uses his flash very offensively, which I do like in players, don't get me wrong. I like people that use their flash offensively and not just defensively, but this Twitch really uses it at times that he just wouldn't get a kill. I don't know if he's unfamiliar with Twitch, I'm not really sure, and I don't really like his build either. Going Bloodthirster on Twitch first, yeah, it's not the best. I'd opt for a Blade of the Ruined King or even an Eye Edge first for pure power. Bloodthirster, it does stuff at Twitch, but like later on in the game, you don't really build it first. That's just my personal opinion anyway, as Twitch is my best and favourite AD carry. Anyway, the enemy have found themselves in quite a good position to take Dragon. Simply put it, that we weren't ready. That all 5 of them were there, where only, well, 1 of us, 2 of us maybe were there. We had a base at a bad position, but they took a bad situation, making it better by getting the Dragon. Picking up red buff for myself. Now, that is one thing I also have to say about red buffs and junglers. A lot of people say, when should you give your AD carry red buff? That type of thing. Now, they are moving in from the side. I could have got on them, honestly, but I had to be careful. I don't know if they were just lurking around the corner, their whole team. But buffs, when do you give your lanes buffs? If you're doing very well as a carry jungler, so Lee Sin, Kha'Zix, etc., hold on to red buff as much as you possibly can. Now, you can see Fi kind of used a barrier there, so well done, Fi. But yeah, you hold on to them as much as you can, because they will help you just snowball the game, especially in laning phase. When it reaches teamfight phase, that's kind of when you can think about giving it to your AD carry. Now, I think you wouldn't have heard that, but my vent just DC'd and probably is going to reconnect. I always have to remember to just leave vent instead of just muting it. And there's it reconnected. I don't know if you heard that, but yeah, they just reconnected. So doing the wolves, nice and quickly. Just continue to farm. I am ahead in farm than the Elise right now, as well as being 604 and she being 210. Now, I have to give credit to the Elise, although it's been a relatively bad game for her and her team, she's actually done okay. She's not negative score, she's a positive score, and she's not terribly far behind me in CS. Now, one thing I have to give to the enemy team as well, the Ziggs, he's played very well, very, very well. He's got 50 odd more farm than our mid laner, and he hasn't died yet, and he's got 1 kill. So yeah, very well played to that Ziggs. It kind of just shows how strong Ziggs is right now. He's a very good laner who can't really be ganked easily, and has very good poke and very good team fights. Like, what else do you want in a mid laner? Now again, we're trying to find things, we know we're stronger, we want to make things happen, so we go, alright, let's group mid, but then it's a Ziggs. You can't really push against the Ziggs, and it's very frustrating. So the way we're going to have to try and play this out is bait them out, fight them, kill them, and then we can get the mid tower. Now, I was actually looking for Twitch in bot lane, but he just bases straight away to get out of there. And I think I was just trying to get the reset on the blue, and I get the timer of the blue, so when that comes up, I'll be able to see. And then we're looking for more pressure, seeing what we could do really, if anything. Now the Taric, one thing about this Taric as well, he likes spamming emotes. I've heard from Fi and Clarity that in bot lane that's all he was really doing, and you get these players, you know, Dyrus and Singed always used to spam laugh. It happens. If they've got an annoying emote, they'll use it in effect. Now I am looking top lane for a gank onto the Rumble, seeing if we can do anything. And now his Spidey senses must have been tingling because he was actually moving away from the area. Now I actually get the Q and then get the slow onto him. So this Rumble is dead again. And there we go. I'm godlike. Nasus actually leaves the kill for me, which I was fairly surprised at, because he probably would have been better on him at this stage. And then in mid lane they actually get a nice kill onto the Twitch. I don't really know where Twitch died. Yeah, I don't... Oh, there. So I have no idea why he was here and my team was here. That was very bad positioning by the Twitch. Honestly, this Twitch has not played well this game. But, you know, you have bad games and good games. So we're going to push up for the top tower, seeing if we can do anything. Now, the Elise actually realizes, hang on, this Lee Sin's fairly squishy. I can go aggro on him and then maybe pick up a kill. So I do flash out, but we get a tier 2 for it, which is fairly good. I'd say worth in that trade, because Lee Sin, although his flash is good, you tend to use flash for escapes more than offense on Lee Sin, because you've got 2 gap closers anyway. You've got your Q and your W if needed onto a ward to get in position. Now, that also gives us position to get the mid, but then again, this Ziggs so annoying. Uses his ultimate to clear out the wave, and he's just stopping us get mid tower, and that is basically what he's done all game. So again, I have to give credit to him. He's doing the job very well. He's just really annoying if you're on the enemy team. Now, Thor has unfortunately not positioned himself great, but he does manage to get out. Twitch was looking for something. Again, Clarity doesn't really position himself great. A little bit of derping going on right now. And then good ultimate by Gragas. And I actually pick up the kill. I don't know how I got that kill. I just went in to do damage and I ended up with it. I didn't go for it. It just happened. And then we're looking for... I'm totally zoning the Ziggs. We want this tower. So get rid of him. Go away, Ziggs. And then we're going to, again, push for the tier 2. And as long as Ziggs isn't here, we can do this fairly successfully. But as soon as Ziggs is here, he'll just clear the wave straight away and be the little annoying rat that he is. But don't get me wrong, I do love playing Ziggs as well. He's just... He's such a good champion right now that in the past 3-4 patches or whatever it's been, he's been buffed in every single patch. So that's just led to him being very strong, and especially at stopping people get mid towers, like as a whole team. So my score right now being 804, relatively good score. I would say some of them I would have not liked as a jungler. But some of them I would have liked, and you can see I built my locket, but then because I'm like, oh, I'm still getting kills, at this point I would have thought I'm not going to get any more kills anymore, people will take them, but I'm still getting them because I'm just doing so much damage that when I jumped in for that Twitch, I used E and he just died. I was like, oh. So because I'm still getting kills, I was like, alright, I'll just continue building damage. And now one thing I have to note, you can see that I've actually bought myself a red elixir. Now, this is a fairly, I don't know, clever move, and, well, it's something we'd have to use. It gives quite nice stats for the amount of gold that it, gives, but it only lasts a certain amount of time, so I want a team fight right now. I really want a team fight now. I take the red buff for myself, because Fi wasn't in the area, and still it'll be relatively good on me, because although Fi is actually fairly fed right now, I'd probably do more damage than him in a fight. Now, Dragon comes out, I get it straight away with a kick. or the Q, sorry, and me and Fi just going to do this nice and quickly. Nasus actually manages to pick up a kill on the turret, which is good. So right now we're kind of just picking their team apart. We're getting even more gold ahead. We're now 42,000 above their 33, so we're 9,000 gold ahead, and now we're going to look for even more kill potential. Now this is a tower that I want. I always like getting the tier 2 in the game, and then I'm also going to move in for the Zig, so we're going to have to see what happens and get the Q onto him, and then kick back into my team. And there we go, half past Thor. Our mid laner managed to pick up that, so that was relatively nice. And that also gives us pressure for the mid lane. But again, look how much they just want to clear. They use Rumble ult, not on us, they use Rumble ult on, trying to clear the wave. Now this is where you can see they don't have much communication. They've already used Rumble ult, yet then Taric goes in. Rumble ult is a lot of their damage. Unfortunately, Thor misses his ultimate, but then a Nasus appears. I've jumped over the wall to try and help out. And yeah, Nasus is going to kill everything. That's pretty much how it's going to go. Elise jumps into a Nasus, well knowing there's a Nasus there, and then gives another kill to him. So, bit of a weird move, must be said. And then I'm just going to wait for Fi to tank all that turret for me, because I'm very grateful that he tanked the turret for me. And then I'm going to find the Twitch, because I did see him walk over to this area. So he's not having a red buff, it's my red buff. So I'm going to probably take this, and then I think I find Twitch. Like, I have no idea what he's doing, to be honest. And then, bam, you're dead. So I think Fi actually gets this red buff. He actually made a joke like, I get a red buff this game. And yes, he does. There we go. He gets one. Use my little scanny thing from StarCraft to kind of see if there's any wards around. There's not. So this game, yes, has turned into a stomp with my score being 906. And I think that is the surrender vote. So anyway, that was the game, guys. Lee Sin jungle on the current patch. Fairly good gameplay. I hope you can learn a bit about Lee Sin in this game. And yeah, more commentaries to come soon and that type of thing. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. And so the question for this video is, what jungler do you prefer in patch 3.14? As any, junglers you liked and now don't, any junglers you didn't like and now do, that type of thing. So that is the question for this video.